we're back. I'm glad. I'm looking forward to the show tonight. Hopefully Celeste will be on here in a few. How was your week?
Long.
Long. Hey, mud lover. Yeah. It's been weird for me. So, and Susy, how about you?
It's been an odd week. We've had stomach bug, but my big question is, did you get your elk, McKenna?
Oh my gosh, that is a whole other story. Oh my gosh. So, I mean, to answer your question, no. And I mean, I don't want to talk too much crap live on the internet, but some hunters need to be a little bit more considerate, is all I'm going to say. And I wanted to kick some people in the nuts. So.
So sorry about that. Yeah.
No, it's okay. I mean, if I start ranting about it and like all the dudes on their side-by-sides, like riding around their basically 2-stroke lawnmowers, really loud lawnmowers in the middle of people's hunts, then I'll go on forever. So probably shouldn't get too far into that. But yeah, you live and you learn, and you hike deeper into the woods than the side-by-sides can go.
Yeah. God, I'm sorry about that. And there's a lot of use in that forest that you hunt on. It's so close. Hey, Krista. It's really so close to your town that everybody's up there.
Yes, it is. And like really, we hiked for hours. We hiked for miles, and we did not like end up in a place where there was no people. We found hunters in every single area that we hiked to, and it was remote too.
Well, the thing is, the further you hike, and then if you bag one, then you got to pack that out.
Right.
You almost have to go on horseback and take a pack animal with you. And get way up there and spend 2 days on the trail.
That really is the way to do it. You know, anyone that's hunted on horses, you know, they're quiet. And I mean, of course, if they've been on trail rides, they've been on hunts before, there's the noise, they're used to the smells. It's like a whole other experience of hunting. I mean, I don't have any horses personally. I grew up with horses and 4-H and all that fun stuff. Yeah.
So,
but you know,
that's too bad.
But there's always next year, you know, and I mean, you know, at the mid hunt, we kind of already started planning for like the next season and what tags we're gonna put in for, and we'll just see how it goes. Eventually, we're gonna get something. We're gonna hopefully get something great.
Nice.
Yeah.
So tonight we were going to talk a little bit about vampires, right?
Yes.
About vampires. And so you dug up information.
Yeah, and I just kind of figured, you know, since I mean, I've been gone for a couple of weeks, but you know, on our last episodes when I was present, you know, questions were kind of like rolling in, and like we talked about little stuff like here and there in between, and I kind of like geared this in that way where we could like fill in spaces if we need to. I do have a couple of like stories that I thought were interesting. I was just, you know, scrolling on TikTok and I came across this video, and I was telling you guys a little earlier, I was especially telling Susy, it's way more deep divey than I had gotten into with this episode, which I totally plan to get into later, but it's deep, very, very deep. And I was just like, you know what? Like, vampires are awesome. I'm totally gonna like look into that, cover some stuff. So inspiration comes from all kinds of places.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, and Hollywood portrays him as kind of hot. So, you know.
Yes.
Sparkly.
I mean, yeah.
Sparkly.
I mean,
usually very attractive.
Yes, honestly, Brad Pitt.
I felt the sparkly vampire was the least attractive vampire I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel like
he had a certain charisma.
Mm-hmm. Huh? He got way hotter like later.
Yeah, he did.
Also,
but who was the brothers from the series? You know the series got
the Vampire Diaries?
Yeah. Oh, hello. Yeah. Any day. Just saying.
You're like, suck my blood. Here it is.
Yeah. Anywho.
You guys are funny.
Hi, Lily.
Hi, Lily. Okay. Go ahead, Mikena. Sorry.
Anyway, aside from like the modern portrayals of vampires, ergo Brad Pitt and Vampire Diaries. So we'll say modern ideals as far as like not like today, but within the past couple hundred years. So they kind of originated in like Western Europe and their folklore. So the general description is they are undead creatures who feed on the blood of the living, or the vital essence of the living. There's some like texts that say like vital essence, which is interpreted as blood. And then of course there's like Dracula, like the original, like this is the vampire story where he literally feasts on blood. So that's kind of like the more mainstream ideals of vampirism comes from. But vampiric creatures have been like recorded in cultures and histories all across the world. I do just have a couple examples, but there are tons. So one, it would be like not particularly like human feasting, would be like the chupacabra, which has roots in Mexico, has roots in Puerto Rico. They call it like the goat eater. So it would feed on the blood of goats. So that's something a little bit closer to home, but the Ashanti folklore, which is kind of like based in Africa. So I'm probably gonna butcher this, but it's the Obeifo. It's a living witch vampire that travels as a ball of light and sucks blood or the energy from crops. So it feasts on blood from people, sucks the energy out of their crops.
O-B-E-O.
A-Y-I-F-O. So like obey, like A-Y instead of E-Y,
Right,
and then
obey.
I-F-O. Obeifo.
Obeifo. Ooh.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I may be totally butchering that. But those are just...
It takes the life of crops as well.
Yes. So I mean,
Wow.
like there's like certain like people use like vampire or something is like, what is the word, like vampiric, like is a like an adjective, like a descriptive word. I mean, if you're in a bad relationship, and all they do is they suck you dry of your money and your emotions, that's a vampiric relationship.
Yeah.
But I mean, and they could have used that as a as like a way to explain their bad omen, or they could, really have experienced like these types of creatures. Usually when there's like a physical description that people say they've seen, or like obviously if you are interested in the paranormal, if you're interested in paranormal investigation, we know what orbs are. We've seen orbs, we've experienced them. A lot of us have experienced them firsthand. So like that, I would consider that like a ball of energy flying across the sky, or within like your range of vision. But that's the way that they describe it, like within the Ashanti. So that's a completely different culture from ours, a completely different geographical location. They describe it as a ball of light. So I did find that kind of interesting. Yeah, they literally Huh?
Are you guys hearing that sound?
There was a little bit of backfeed there on your end for a minute.
On mine?
No, on Colleen.
But it sounded like a big growl and bark.
Yeah, like a growling bark. Yeah.
Oh.
Weird. And you guys didn't hear it?
No, I heard it. It was really fast. Lily said she heard it.
Yeah, and my dog, it's not my dogs, they're all asleep now.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about chupacabras.
I'm telling you. That's crazy.
I mean, geographically, I'm closer to Mexico than you guys are. So I don't hear anything.
Nothing's happening. And you live in a haunted house too.
Yeah, actually I do. Well, I mean, I haven't experienced anything, like, thank goodness. I'm not calling anything out if it's here. I mean, sometimes people feel things, but I'm, it's that same thing. I'm walled off like so bad.
Okay, now you gotta expand. What are you hearing and feeling? You can't just go, oh yeah.
Well, I don't hear or feel anything personally. Like I mean, okay, so there's two specific times like I felt the same, like something, and it was the same thing, and it wasn't here. So Colleen was with me the second time, and Celeste was with me the first time. So when we did the investigation at the school, that nausea, I felt that when we were in the second floor bathroom. And then Colleen, you and I felt that in the, well, I mean, it's titled the murder room, although as far as I know, no murder occurred there at the Vernal Hotel Haunt. So those were the two times I ever like walked into a room and felt physically ill, where I had like a physical symptom or like a sense of dread. I've never felt that in my house. And to be respectful of like the people, like the people that died in my house still have living kin, and so I need to be respectful of them and their experience. They are very much alive. So I won't expand on that story, unless like they reach out to me and be like, yeah, tell the story. But until then, yes, like people have died in my house, but I have not experienced anything here yet. So knock on wood.
In mine, I've heard a lot of talking. I've seen shadows, sensed people, heard coughing, smelled cigarette smoke, like all kinds of things here. But my house is well over 100 years old. Yeah. So it's had quite a few families through here. And actually, I love this house, and I can feel like the house really loves our family, and the people that were here prior, they're okay with us. They like us. So I'm not worried about it.
Good. Yeah. And I mean, I don't know. I know that like half of my house was used as like a city building, and then it was like expanded on for like people to live in maybe like the 50s. I'm not sure. I don't know the whole history of it. I mean, I'd love to go to the city and get like all of the records that like they have, which I don't know what they have, but I think it'd be super cool just to kind of know the history of the house. But I mean, I feel great here. I feel safe here. The boys have no trouble sleeping. They haven't come to tell me anything concerning. So I think we're right. But I mean, I've kind of explained it before, like on previous episodes, that like I just had like such a fear of like the supernatural as a child. Like I couldn't watch horror movies. I couldn't do haunted houses. Still really can't. Like I'll go in the daylight hours when no one's there, but that's about it. But I'm very like walled off. I'm very blocked off from that kind of stuff. So it's hard for me to know. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so I'm not an expert on like supernatural experiences by any means. But yeah, very weird things are happening everywhere. And I mean, while I was on my hunt, it was the harvest moon. So that was it was really cool. Oh, it was cool being like out in the woods and out in the mountains where there was like and the animals, they don't sleep during the harvest moon. They travel at night because it's so bright and there's just so much energy and like livelihood, and we were like so into the wilderness. Like it was awesome. Like even if we didn't get anything, it was so cool just to be up there in general.
It's peaceful.
It is very peaceful. Yeah, I know. Once we if you can get away from those, it's pretty peaceful.
That's cool.
Oh yeah. But I do have a couple of like little stories, little tidbits of like modern, within the past couple hundred years, vampires or stories of vampires. So I only have one that's like New Orleans. I know that we kind of were discussing that's the topic you guys are going to be covering, which is so funny that like it just kind of like, it's so weird that sometimes like those things kind of like pair up, and I don't know if it's just because something's saying like you guys need to bring attention to this, you need to be talking about this, if the energy is going that way. I mean, I guess it needs to be talked about.
I guess so.
Yeah. So this one that I thought was very interesting was the Carter brothers. So if you guys have heard of it, totally add in anything you may know. It is in New Orleans. So the names to me, I think, are hilarious because I love Westerns. So the brothers are named John and Wayne.
Oh, geez.
I know. So I saw that and I was like, haha, but like also, 1930s era, like John is a popular name, common name. Wayne's a common name. But go John Wayne. We love John Wayne, but not John and Wayne. So these guys, they're brothers, they're living in New Orleans. They have an apartment. People say that they are normal, quiet, keep to themselves, never had any problems with them. But in the 1930s, specifically, there was an incident where a woman was disheveled. She looked injured. She was malnourished. She was running in the streets and she had come up to a police officer. And essentially, what had happened is she had escaped from their apartment. She found this officer and recounted to him like what she had escaped from and what she had been through. She stated that she and several others had been essentially like held in this apartment. They were imprisoned by the Carter brothers. She stated that the brothers would come home in the evening and cut the wrists of their captives to feed on their blood. But they would, essentially they would drink the blood, but keep the people alive. They would bandage their wrists and keep them alive so that they could feed on them again. So they would let them heal somewhat and then leave, go about their business during the day, come back at night to, do what they did. But the other captives were found, so after she had, gone to this officer, they, of course, police go and they investigate, and the other captives were found. They were bandaged wrists. They were thin, pale, malnourished, just like the woman. And of course, the brothers were arrested. They were found and arrested. And they confessed. They confessed to being vampires. They said, "We are vampires. We feed on the blood of humans." And they were subsequently sentenced to death. And so they were sentenced to death. They were executed, and then they were kept in like a tomb, a crypt, a vault. Essentially, I think they referenced it as a vault. And then later on, when the authorities came on to collect their bodies, to inter them permanently, the bodies were gone. And so it kind of you don't know if it was someone that heard about their story and took their bodies to kind of keep that going, or if perhaps that they really were immortal. They were undead already. And so they just, had their execution and their bodies were placed in this vault, and then they just pieced out once everyone was gone. But they were actually drinking human blood.
That is really wild. I don't know. I keep hearing stuff and I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to adjust all of our mics and trying to figure this out. But that is a banana story.
Right?
So they were executed?
They were executed. They were arrested, charged, convicted. Yes. Well, temporarily interred. So they were executed and placed in temporary storage until they were able to be placed in their permanent graves.
Right.
Or crypts. Yeah.
So, makes you wonder. I mean, in every bit of legend, there's a kernel of truth, right? So, and New Orleans is vampire central down there with all of the legends and everything else. You have to wonder.
It was the 1930s. There are people alive today that were, infants, babies around that time, but it wasn't that long ago.
No, and they certainly heard the stories.
Oh, for sure.
Mean, they were probably really aware of the stories and what everybody told each other.
Yeah.
It's kind of, that one is spooky, isn't it?
It is very spooky. And I mean, you kind of have to think about and wonder about New Orleans in general because they're so like there's a lot of the vampire lore, you know, we've kind of covered that a little bit. But also like the deep roots in ritualism, voodoo, hoodoo, all of it.
Yes.
Like there's a lot of spiritualism. There's a lot of magic. And so it's just kind of interesting. Like you have to think about is that a hub of energy of some sort? What might be going on there?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, they need to give a little bit of that energy to the football team because the Saints suck.
All right, Susie, what you got for Trista?
Okay, Trista. So, first off, I want to tell you I'm very proud of you. I see that you have been struggling with the choice, but you've actually started forward movement. So congratulations. That's amazing. I can see that you're becoming to get over your fears, and you're going to be able to reunite with yourself, your true core self, which is an amazing thing to do, because it shows me also here that you've been blocked for a while. And so it's not just you, but everyone around you and that's involved in your situation. It's their opportunity to grow. And so where you've been before you made your move has been stagnant. And so now it's like everyone's going to level up, not just you, everyone. And I'm including your children. So I can feel that coming. And then this is a word from the universe for you. Well, it's 2 words. It's radical acceptance. And that's what they want you to keep in mind. She knows exactly what it means.
Wow. That's quite a reading, Trista. Good girl. Good girl.
Yeah, that is powerful.
Yeah. So, Celeste, hello.
Hello.
We're talking about in between readings, we're talking about vampires. So, yeah. And not the sparkly kind. Although I don't want to make one of our who is it? Lily. I don't want to make her mad. She likes the sparkly guy, which is cool. And each their own, you know. I just prefer the dark hair, dark eyes, smoldering look kind of vampire, you know. And how did they go from being so creepy when the black and white movies were out to being these exotic, gorgeous men now?
Because it sells more money, more tickets.
I guess. Yeah, I watched every darn episode of Vampire Diaries, and I did it.
Yeah.
I was a true believer. Yeah.
Yeah,
I believe in hot guys. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Well, I mean, also hot tip.
So keep going.
Hot tip real quick about sparkly vampires. If you're a fan of the Twilight movies, or if you weren't, the guy that plays Jasper, look him up now because he's so fine.
He wasn't terrible to begin with, was he?
Jasper. No, he wasn't, but he's like, he's upgraded. Like, if you've ever seen like the Kick-Ass movies, that guy, he's like that guy, but hotter.
Okay, Jasper.
She's Googling right now.
How many people? Hey, in chat, comment if you're Googling Jasper right now.
Oh, yeah. Fine. Totally.
So fine.
Well, take your phone and turn it toward your camera.
But the guy who played the wolf was the hottest of them all.
Jacob.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, let's see. His name is like on the tip of my tongue, but I know that he's something Lautner. It's like,
okay, so
Taylor
Lautner. His wife, he got married. His wife is also Taylor. So it's Taylor Lautner and Taylor Lautner now. Fun fact.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy. She didn't have to change her name.
No, but I mean,
that's pretty wild.
It's fun.
But the mail must get confusing, you know.
Right.
So we're not saying vamps are real, although I believe there's a kernel of truth in every legend. I believe that there was probably something mystical there. Whether it's still there, I'm not sure. I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. Do I want to believe that they're real? I think a little part of me really wants me to believe that they're real. But do I, you know what I'm saying? It's like, where does the legend come from if there wasn't something there?
Well,
and I know a lot of it was Vlad, but
yes, as far as like classic ideals of vampires, yes, a lot of that did stem from Vlad and then the Dracula novel later on. But like
there's
so
also
much. Oh, go ahead.
Elizabeth Bathory. Do you remember reading about her? That
I don't know much about her.
Well, she would take the young women from the village and her servants and drain them of blood and bathe in them to maintain her youth.
Yep.
And she was noble. They couldn't put her to death, so they just imprisoned her until she died.
Yeah, she was she was royalty, and that was her elixir she believed in for keeping, wouldn't get any wrinkles. She was her fountain of youth, right? So creepy.
I would consider that vampiric, even though it didn't say she ever drank it, but you never know, she may have. So
right. But I mean, it kind of goes to what we were talking about in the beginning, like the life essence. It's like feeding on the life essence, whether or not that's literally blood or whatever it is to sustain life. She drained them of their life essence and then used it for her own benefit.
And there are subcultures now. You can even look it up. There are subcultures that run around and, they say they're vampires and they're scraping each other's necks up. And so, getting teeth.
Well, I have a true story. I don't think I've shared with you guys. So, okay, this comes, and if he's ever watching the show, my chiropractor, he's a very devout Christian. And so he's not like into flights of fancy and all this kind of stuff, right? Did I tell you guys this story? I don't think I did. Well, his dad was a termite inspector in California. And so he traveled all up and down, a region, basically, to do these house inspections. And he had come home with this story of this house he went into that really freaked him out. Took place over like 2 days because he was traveling, stayed overnight at the hotel, blah, blah, blah. So he goes into this particular house, and of course it's set on the coast. So already a little bit of the creepiness factor there, right? It was a big old, like Queen Anne style house. And the woman inside had all of her mirrors covered. She had, he said, if you thought of a classic female vampire, she would be it. She was very pale. She wouldn't go out in the sun. She welcomed him into the house to do the inspection. And he said he was really nervous. All the mirrors were covered with cloth. Just weird. He had the ick factor when he walked in there, and he's like really, really weird. And so then he told her that he had to go into the crawl space to finish the inspection of the house. And she's like, no. Don't go in the crawl space. And he said, I have to. I mean, that's part of the job, to get down there and see if there's any, termite damage. He goes into the crawl space and he found human bones down there. So he gets out of the crawl space and goes directly to his truck and leaves and doesn't go back in the house because he's freaked out. And he did call the police. And the police, because it was old, bones. They didn't hurry, but they came the next day to the site. And by the time they got there, the house was empty. Of furniture, everything was gone. Everything was gone by the next day. Like no one had been there. And they did find apparently the skeleton, but now he's all wrapped up in this because they don't believe that this woman was there and what's going on, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, look, I have the work order. It was signed by her. Here's the work order. I'm not making this up. She was here yesterday. What do you mean she's gone? And he gets to the house. There's no one there. Nothing. So that's kind of creepy.
What I want to know is, if you are a vampire and you are moving around from house to house, why would you purchase mirrors at all?
I was just going to say that. There's something to the mirror thing. Why would you cover them with fabric and not just get rid of them?
Yeah, it's definitely more suspicious.
It was made and they were already there. That's what I was wondering too, is like, did somebody make her and then into one, and then she's like, oh, so she covered the mirrors. But anyway, it freaked him out enough that he came home and told his wife, and then later told his son. And he's like, really? And his dad was dead serious, like would get the sweats thinking about what he's like, what was I close to? Like what?
Yeah.
What was I in the same space with? Because he didn't freaked him out his whole life. Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, in New Orleans, they have documented cases throughout the ages of ensanguinated. Is that the right word? The body is completely drained of blood. Mm-hmm. There is no blood around the body where they found it. The legend, supposedly, on one of the tours that I went on, was France was sending women to marry the men who had settled in New Orleans, to make this a prosperous land. And on the boat, people mysteriously died and disappeared. And supposedly they had caskets or coffins down in the hole. And when it got to New Orleans, that I can't remember if they opened the caskets and what was in there was functioning, or they didn't open them, but somehow they ended up in the upstairs attic part of one of the nun convents, or it's like a nunnery. It's right down in like the French Quarter. It's like a church, and
there,
and supposedly since that time there have been multiple unexplained deaths of bodies being found without any blood, no blood around them, the puncture marks on the neck. There were stories of two brothers who had a business, and I don't know. It's just there's a lot of stories and a lot of
Well, it's funny because I don't know if it's the same two brothers, but we did, before you came on, we covered a story about John and Wayne Carter, and they were two brothers, and they did live. Their apartment was on the French Quarter.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the brothers that they, and it's like weird documentation of them being like 1700s, 1800s, and then 1900s, and they looked exactly the same, and they said they were descendants, but they supposedly had, at least the tour that I was on said that they had the bathtubs full of decomposing bodies. Wow. I don't know, because you can't bury anything down there. The elevation is below sea level. And so you can't dig a hole to bury anything because it fills up with water. That's why they have the above ground vaults there. So I don't know. There's a lot of strange stories. There are people nowadays that drink blood. They claim they have agreeing volunteers that give the blood to them, but we have a group here where we live.
Yes. I understand that they have a location down in Old Town.
They used to spend a lot of time in the hookah bars.
Yeah.
And they work in.
It is crazy.
Like one person I heard was the head chef at Jakers.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they
don't eat at Jakers is what you're saying.
No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying.
I'm just kidding.
I mean, there's times reality, but they have these proclivities now, which are a little bit. Yeah, I don't think that's necessarily safe. I don't know. What are you getting? Like, I just, anyway. Okay. Before we get banned from YouTube.
I was going to say, this is why I don't talk about skinwalkers, because it's too close to home.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Exactly.
But, yeah.
Keep going, Kenna. What else did you have?
Okay, I do have like one other story that is not within the U.S. here. So it was in the 1890s, and it happened. This was in Brazil. So I've heard so there was a couple different like pronunciations of this woman's name. Some people called her Camille or Camilla, but it's Camilla Montfort, and she's French. She's called the Brazilian vampire or the vampire of the Amazon. But she was like a very famous opera singer in the 1890s who had traveled to Brazil from France. And I mean, she had traveled the world. She had been everywhere. But it was rumored that like when she had been visiting London, performing in London, that she had been afflicted with vampirism. And she was gorgeous. Like, she was absolutely stunning, a very beautiful woman. There's pictures of her online. She was stunning. But they say that she would use her singing to hypnotize her victims.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Also, she was beautiful. Generally, young women would faint and become her prey. Like, she would feast on their blood after she like hypnotized them with her voice. And that wealthy men would take her in and like lavish her with extravagant gifts. I didn't find anything saying that she was drinking the blood of men, but it was definitely said that she was drinking the blood of young women. But she was said to wear all black, and that she would take long walks at night. Like, she had just kind of odd behaviors like that. It was also rumored that she would dance in various states of undress in the rain. And I mean, like
she actually sounds pretty cool. I don't know.
I know, and that's what I was thinking too. I was like, yeah, Camilla,
like out there.
Straight up. No, she sounds great. But I mean, also, society, it changes, but it doesn't really change. Like, if you have a very talented, beautiful woman that takes attention from men, then a lot of the times catty bitches are gonna be catty bitches, and they're gonna be like, oh, she's a vampire, like, you better stay away from her, you know. Like,
oh my goodness. Yes, for sure.
Right. Yeah, the rumor mill doesn't stop churning ever. But she was accused of communicating with the dead and practicing forms of spiritualism. And then she did die. She died in 1896. So she had contracted cholera and subsequently passed away. She was buried in Soledad Cemetery beneath a great mango tree, which you can go there now, and her headstone is there, and the mango tree is there. And her tombstone reads, "The voice that enchanted the world," which I thought was pretty cool.
You'd think she really was a vampire, she wouldn't get sick and die.
Right.
You know?
But the rumor is, like, people claim that the grave is empty, that it was a ploy so that all of the attention that was on her was dispelled.
The gal you were talking about, Susie, the one that would bathe in the, could this woman have been her reincarnated self?
Never know.
Because that woman was beautiful as well.
Yes, she was.
Yeah. What was her name again, Susie?
Elizabeth Bathory.
Bathory, yeah.
The 1700s.
And when was this woman alive?
1896 is when she passed away. So like 1860s is when she was born.
Yeah, I mean, that, you never know. I don't know. I mean, can vampires reincarnate? I don't know. I didn't think
they could do like a
never die.
Well, it's also interesting because a lot of quote unquote graves, they've literally put iron cages over them because a lot of times they were buried, believed that they were dead, and they supposedly rose and went after people. But I don't know. There's an awful lot of folklore, and there's an awful lot of historical documentation and different things. And there's like a whole, I'm not sure it's a huge group of people, but it's worldwide that there are people that practice the consumption of blood.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's part of that deep dive I mentioned earlier. Totally goes way more dark than I was planning on getting today. And I do need to dive deeper before I bring anything to the podcast, but
okay.
Maybe I will later. It's pretty heavy.
Susy, what you got for BA?
So I'm kind of getting the same energy of the other BA. I'm wondering if it's the same person that I know, but very interesting. But BA, you've recently leveled up. You've overcome some major heartbreak, and it feels like almost like betrayal, but it's something that cuts you really deep. But you've stepped into more of the spiritual power. You're listening more to your intuition, and you have spirit guides, especially a male on the other side that is watching over you, is very impressed with your actions lately. And you also have another one in the living world that is watching you very closely, your actions, the things that you do, not creepy like, but just like, I want to say in awe of you, of what you've been doing lately, how much you have grown and just like blossomed. So the advice from the universe said to make sure that you're like getting everything in order in your life where you want it to be, and close the door on those things that no longer serve you anymore. And go ahead and let those kind of things complete, and don't dig them back up again. If you feel like they're, oh yeah, awesome. Hi, BA. If you feel like you've resolved it, don't revisit it. But yeah, I'm congratulations. Like, I feel that you have definitely, because your main card here, I'm going to show it really quick, parts of it, is the High Priestess. And I know we talked about that before, but you have fully stepped into that power. And so that is really amazing. Congratulations.
Very cool. Nice reading.
Colleen, I just sent you a picture to your email of both of our vamp ladies that we're talking about.
They're gorgeous.
Oh,
they are.
I'm gonna have to look. Yeah. So, oh my goodness, they could be.
I know.
So, I don't know if I can do this. Oh, you can't really see
a little bit to the side. Oh yeah, you kind of can. Yeah, they're very, very similar.
Yeah, the nose and everything. The shape of the mouth.
Maybe she really didn't die.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, not
know
necessarily reincarnation, but could be that she took the show on the road, and that was next.
That's yeah.
I know that there were people that supported her and would sell the girls to her. So she did have a following. She did have servants. So you never know what could have happened.
Interesting. Wow. So she's probably still out there somewhere.
Well, yeah. I need to know her hair secrets, because I have to keep mine short, because I just don't have that, you know? I mean, what's up?
I hear you. I use every hair product known to man to try to get my hair to grow.
But anytime I watch somebody like prick their finger and suck on the blood, I literally want to yak.
Yes.
I can't
Okay, so being outside all the time, I'm always getting cut and scraped and all that. And yeah, I mean, I don't want it running down my arm. So, you know,
yeah,
it doesn't taste good. That's what I mean. Yeah. So Susy BA wanted to confirm specifically the lesson I've been learned.
Yep, that's exactly it.
Awesome. Yes. That's really awesome. Streamlabs just popped up again. Where is this coming from? Please refrain I didn't say that, VA, just so you know. I don't know how this is. I'm going to put the user in timeout. Okay. Mad Max wants a reading.
It's Celeste's turn.
Okay.
So I'm confused. Human 2869 is Mad Max?
Mad Max. Yes.
Okay. I'm like, so, yes. Okay. That's funny. Because did they do it last week? The jumping in, complaining about stuff, or was it 2 weeks ago?
Streamlabs? That's been 6 weeks ago. When we tried Streamlabs, remember I made an account and then I'm like, this is not going to work for us. So I can't figure out where this is coming from. I'm going to have to go in and delete the whole account or something because it's like trying to take over.
Yeah, that's weird.
Ugh. Anyway, if you can do...
I have no idea what that means. I'm always just me. All right. So the first thing I'm feeling is double checking on seasonal. It's starting to get darker sooner, making sure you're being proactive about spending time outside, taking awesome pictures of cool things in yards, which is a good thing to do in the daylight. But I'm just feeling like encouragement and a reminder to make sure you're getting daylight hours. And that goes for everybody. We're getting darker sooner and we're going to start. It's a 4-letter word. I don't want to say it. So I'm going to say cooler. Cooler. And it's really important. For those of you that don't know, tonight is new moon, and this is an awesome time to build on things you want to grow in your life. So if you want to grow better habits of eating or maybe getting some exercise and stuff like that, this is a good time. If there's some seeds that you feel like you need to plant, and I'm going to call you Mad Max, this would be a really good time to do it. Where in the period where, for example, people would plant bulbs to bloom next spring for like crocus or tulips or daffodils or anything that's a bulb type thing, and remembering that sometimes it feels like we have put our energy into something that isn't going to do anything, but then come spring, suddenly we have this new growth or this new life of things that are coming into our world. And remembering it's really important to plant the seeds of the things that you're still wanting to achieve. And if it doesn't sprout right away, maybe it's more of a bulb type of a thing, and it needs to have that hibernation time. And it can be our thoughts, it can be our goals of things we want to do or accomplish. And so just make sure you're thinking about the things that you want to bring about in your life. And this would be a prime time to tap in to using the earth energy to help bring those things to fruition, bring them to life. It is also a time for releasing and letting go of things that are no longer serving us, that are maybe keepers of sad memories. I am really terrible about this. I'm not a big sharer. I don't tell a lot of people things that I feel sad about or things that I'm worried about. And I think that's kind of a common thing with a lot of people. And so letting go, because it's like how some of us will go to the grocery store and we'll have 20 bags of groceries, but rather than making 3 or 4 reasonable trips from the car, we pile 20 bags of groceries on our arm
What? That's not okay.
Well, I didn't say it's not okay. I said that's what a lot of us do. And if we don't learn to be reasonable about what we carry, we don't have the space, the energy, or any of that to take on the good stuff. And so it's just a reminder that we need to let go of some of the sad stuff or the bad stuff or the things that didn't work out or the things that aren't benefiting our life. So we have room and arm space for 20 bags of good stuff. So just, this is usually a time that is not terribly, maybe busy is not the right word, but not a really productive time. We're going into the dark time. We've got holidays coming up. We've got cold weather coming up. And instead of fighting that, because I've lived here my whole life, I've fought it and cursed it from the get-go, the bad weather and the season change, and it still does it. So learning to work with it and take that downtime and take that time to refresh and revitalize ourselves. So just be conscious of drinking water, of getting sunshine, of trying to let go of the things that you may not like or want in your life to have room for all the things you do want. And writing it down or setting goals is a really good way to remind us to quit dwelling in that one stuck space. And I'm talking to myself while I'm talking to you. Does that make sense? Isn't that what our arms are for? Our arms are children, our spouse, or whoever's there can help, but usually we just manage to lug it all in, and then next day we're like, why is my neck so sore and why do I have this bruise on my arm? But we all do it. You're laughing because you've done it.
Like, stop talking about me right now. No. So relatable.
Human nature is just crazy. The things that we do as a conglomerate of people, knowing it's silly, but
well, what keeps coming to my mind is, like, I used to say this all the time, but like, my mama didn't raise no bitch. Like, just carry the groceries, you know. I grew up on a ranch, like, but no, it's good to learn to give yourself some grace, for sure.
Yeah.
Susy?
I'm really good at giving others, not myself.
You have a reading for Lizette?
Actually, I was pulling on Mud Lover. She asked first.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. It took me a minute. I'm glad it took a minute because, like, somebody like stepped in and was trying to block.
I could see something going on there.
Yeah, I had to go through about 4 different decks. They were not wanting you to get this message that you are so freaking powerful. They are trying to block you like nothing else. Goodness. I was getting very nauseated and starting to sweat. But you are very powerful. You are like, you're like the lioness that's, you know, real sneaky and quiet, but just lethal and deadly. And you can manifest anything that you want. Like, you are that strong. Anything brand new that you want, like your whole 10 of Pentacles. Like, if you want another Jeep, you can have it. That's what it's saying to me. And you're very just like, you get rid of the things that are not useful to you, but the universe is also telling you to be careful. Don't overextend yourself and preserve your energy, and just, like, you know, be very mindful of spreading yourself too thin. But it's definitely got your back. And, like, yeah, somebody did not want me to tell you that. Like, holy crap. I don't want to dig into who it was, but it wasn't pleasant. See, wow. I even had to, like, clear a lot of stuff.
Wow. Celeste, would you mind taking human? Celeste,
we're getting the Jeep
reading.
Yeah. What I'm feeling like, and again, maybe it's my own self bleeding into your reading, but I feel like you're really putting 150% into everything you're doing. And we have to remember balance. Balance does not mean 50-50. This isn't balance. Balance is give and take, but we can't just keep giving, which is where I hit walls. But just be really cautious of your, I don't want to say energy level, but it kind of is energy level, because I don't know if any of you guys ever drive on empty. I did one time.
What?
And ran out of gas on the interstate before
Yeah.
cell phones. Yes. So just being really cautious to make sure that, yes, it is necessary sometimes to give more than what maybe you feel like you have the energy to give, but then you have to take that break. You have to rejuvenate. You have to do something kind for yourself. Oh my gosh, you guys are making me talk to myself, and this is definitely interesting. But I feel like sometimes we burn the candle at both ends, and that's okay for a minute. Just don't burn it at both ends and the middle, because if you don't take that break and give yourself some time to rejuvenate, then you will either get sick, you'll get a headache, something will wipe you out, and you won't have a choice but to have downtime. So just be really careful. I'm just feeling like you're, that's what I thought. I'm just feeling like you're just, I don't know if there's something you're trying to work toward, but just make sure that you're being realistic in what you're capable of before you push yourself too hard.
Thank you, Celeste. And Susy, Mud Lover had one question about whether or not
definitely. Yeah, because I'm getting like major chills. And that person was there to disrupt you and to stop you. Yeah, trying to influence you. So, and then I just had a quick for Lizette really fast. The universe is saying right now, spend a lot of time with your kiddos. Focus on that, especially your daughter. It's not that she needs it, like she's in dire need, but right now is a perfect time to strengthen that bond that you already have. So that's the advice that it's giving me, like go do something really fun, something that she's really interested in, and that'll help a lot.
Cool.
And as a hint on that, it can be you're helping her and doing things for her if you're an overdoer like I am, because I won't overdo for myself. I overdo for everybody else. So this is a perfect opportunity for you to do something fun and refuel yourself while not feeling like you're not being productive. Mm-hmm. Win-win. To be yes, it is crazy what the other side is capable of doing. Everybody needs to make sure they understand how to ground, how to protect themselves. Grounding is just shaking off, getting rid of the energy that is not yours, or that somebody has sent you that it's negative energy. But like with my medium readings, I've had like 3 unbelievable ones recently. And every single time the person who's passed has come to me before the living person came to me. Mm-hmm. And how do they know? I don't know. But they do. When they talk about the veils thinning, the veil is literally thinning right now. The division between our realm and the spirit realm, the doorway is opening, the curtains are drawing, the blinds are coming up, kind of a thing. And I wonder that about AI myself. It's a little creepy
because it feels icky, doesn't it? It feels icky.
Yeah, it's like very creepy. Because usually whenever we do something with AI, it glamorizes us. Like, are we supposed to not feel beautiful? on our natural appearance, that we have to have perfect makeup and we have a thinner face and it makes me blonde instead of gray. And it's like,
I think it's going to create more narcissists. It does a feedback loop, and they've even proven it. It's already done a feedback loop.
But that's one part of AI. I use AI for environmental documents that I'm reviewing.
Yeah, it's still a tool. You just got to be.
That's what I'm saying. So there's a part of AI that's really incredibly helpful. Mm-hmm. You just have to be able to separate that. I don't use AI for anything else other than I put in documents and I'm asking it to help me review and catch problems and this and that and this and that. And then I still have to read the whole document to see if I agree with it. But it's in 20 seconds, something that could take me 2 weeks to do. It's done in 20 seconds. Frighteningly fast, but so far it's been incredibly accurate. So
yeah, that's it at the university, and in a lot of jobs they're incorporating it. And the weird thing is, I have friends that are students and then people that are instructors that I know, and the students are getting in trouble because the instructors have programs that they're putting papers through that will tell you if the person's plagiarized, or, you know, the AI part checks it. And there are people that are swearing up, down, right, and left that they wrote it themselves, but it's coming up and tagging or flagging, whatever you want to call it, as that it was some sort of an AI thing. So I don't know. It's strange.
Well, and then also anything that you upload to anywhere, it's going to be out there. And that's what it does, is it searches everything. So it'll search, you know, university websites for papers and similar stuff like that. But also I wanted to tell Mud Lover that I did get an image, and I don't know, but I feel like that image might have been in your dream. Tell me if I'm right or wrong. But of a kind of a older man that was a little bit deformed in the face and really thinning pale hair. Yep. And that's what I saw. And as soon as I closed my eyes when I was doing it and I saw that, that's when I started getting immediately nauseous. So clear your space tonight before you go to bed. Ask for your angels, your ancestors, your guides to come and protect you and your home.
Well, thank you everybody for joining us tonight. Oh, a couple of announcements to make. Susy and Celeste are going to take their show live in Old Town Pocatello. We have a spot now. Gate City Coffee has told us that they will absolutely work with us. We have another big thing in the works with them as well, actually 2. So 3. There's 3 total things we're doing with them. They're just amazing people. And so if you are local to Pocatello area, somewhere you want to come in, we're going to start getting things set up, and they will do like a once a month live reading, group reading for I heard that, for a few people. And there will be tickets available. And all we ask on top of that is just maybe get a latte from Gate City Coffee when you're there, or a mocha or a dessert or something like that to help them out, because they're doing this because they just love our group. They love us. So, and the feeling's mutual. We love them. So anywho, and we do have, I know, I can't wait to see this go down, because I had approached Celeste, like 5-6 years ago, maybe, with this idea. And it just, the time was never right. And then boom, I was just in there having coffee, and I was talking to the owner, and he's like, and I said, yeah, we're kind of thinking of this. He goes, use this space. And it's right next to the gift shop. They have other groups that come in and use it. But he's like, yeah, just give us dates and we're going to book this. So he's excited. I'm excited. It's going to be great. Anyway, and more to come. We have other big, huge events coming to Old Town, and it'll be fun. So see us tomorrow, 7:00 live. We're also talking about spooky stuff. It's getting close to Halloween season, so we have a lot of spooky stuff going on. And we have a lot coming up on our Thursday night show we have a lot of people that are going to be guests coming on to share their personal ghost stories from places they've worked and things that have happened to them. So those are going to be coming up live on Thursdays. So love you all. Take care. Stay safe. Ladies, have a good night.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys.
Bye.